Hey, Battle Bill, here with another video, getting some more Season 12 Go Battle League battles in the brand new Psychic Cup meta. In today's video, I bring you the best Psychic Cup team literally from day one. It's going to shape the meta throughout the entire week, and I highly recommend you get on top of it ASAP. I ran this team on my Twitch stream, and I popped off. I have a huge collection of battles with this team for today's video. As you'll notice, it consists of the top tier MON that's going to own the entire Psychic Cup, being Victini, with Malamar on the save swap, and the absolute best Victini answer in the form of Water Gun Slowbro. This thing absolutely pops off, and it's my favorite answer to Victini in this meta because not only can it deal super effective damage against Victini, but unlike Claydol, it will resist all of the moves that Victini is trying to throw at you. So I cannot wait to jump into these battles. I highly recommend the team. Had a lot of success with it. Let me show you, explain the ins and the outs. We have a huge collection of battles. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's not often that I end up coming up with a successful team on the first day of a new meta. So let's jump into these battles. We have a positive lead with Victini on Shadow Gardevoir. They save swap in the Hypno. We match with our hard answer of Malamar. Now you'll notice I'm running Superpower for this battle because this was literally my first battle with the team, and I forgot to change the moveset to the proper moveset of Hyper Beam, and maybe I'll have a couple Beam Booms throughout this video. But yes, I'm not going to show Superpower on screen for one battle for obvious reasons, since Hyper Beam is the main way you want to go on your Malamar. Now you'll notice we took out the Hypno with the Foul Play, and then they come with the Shadow Gardevoir, but because of our ultimate farming skills, we're able to get to another Foul Play to do a huge chunk of the Shadow Gardevoir's health. We come in with the Victini, and we quick attack the Gardevoir all the way down. And then our opponent is trying to spice up the Psychic Cup right off the bat. I respect it. They come with Attack Deoxys of all Deoxys to be running, but unfortunately, Attack Deoxys, being as frail as it is, has no chance. Probably could have quick attacked and then water gunned all the way down, but wanted to get the shields, ended up watering gun down regardless, and that's GG's for match number one. Getting to this next match, we have a Victini on a Claydol lead. Now, this is still not a great lead for the Victini. We got to swap out because, like I said, Slowbro is the best answer for Victini, but Claydol is definitely a great one also. We definitely don't want to stay in. Save swap into Malamar because it's our softer answer to the Claydol. Slowbro being our harder answer, we don't immediately want to go into. But they decide to stay in, not having a great answer in the back for our Malamar. We got them to shield. We are going to respect the fact that Claydol has access to Shadow Ball and Rock Tomb and match with the shield, so we don't want to get hit by that neutral damage, and we want to get alignment since we lost lead. But then they save swap into, or not really, well, they very, very late save swap into their Galarian Rapidash, and I get greedy and overfarm and make a mistake. I did not throw my Foul Play there, and I did not want to use a shield, so I had to let my Malamar go down, unfortunately. Galarian Rapidash, heavily underrated for that one move that it has right there. Mega Horn hits for big damage, especially against a Mon like Malamar that is already dead, not in this current matchup because of its Dark Psychic typing. So Galarian Rapidash, hella underrated, but I definitely prefer my team of three and my sleeper pick of Slowbro on the comp. We get to back-to-back V creates there, take out the Galarian Rapidash, bring in Slowbro, and show you exactly what I mean. Now, technically speaking, in most situations, you really don't need access to Water Pulse, and you could run a single move Slowbro with Ice Beam. You want to run Ice Beam definitely because of the fact that even though Water Pulse is stab, it's a terrible move, and Ice Beam is still better DP even though it's non-stab. There will be occasional situations though, like this past one, where we needed to get that Water Pulse off to take out the Victini and win the match. So of course, if you're going to make PvP mons, I always highly recommend double moving them, but if you decide because it's a new cup and you want to stick with one move and save yourself some dust, you got to go with Ice Beam. In 95% of the situations, you're not going to need to Water Pulse a Victini. You're going to be safe to just water gun the heck out of it, as we'll see in some future matches. But in 5%, just know you will want to have that Water Pulse. It's not a huge percent. Anyhow, I digress. We move forward. So we have a Victini on Malamar matchup there. We go for back-to-back V creates because we're still learning the matchups. This is literally our first set. But then they come in with a Shadow Gardevoir, and we get their last shield because we double debuffed ourselves, really more than that, because V creates like an insane debuff to the defense stat. The one charm that snuck through from the Gardevoir swapping in takes us out, and you'll notice I threw Water Pulse there, not knowing at the time, because again, this is our first set. I learned after that Ice Beam is a play, but I threw Water Pulse to take out the Gardevoir. Either one would have gotten the job done. They then come in with their own Galarian Slowbro. They throw a Sludge Bomb. We're over farming a bunch. They end up catching. This ends up being a foul play. I don't remember where their health's at. It's unfortunately a bit high because of that catch. We could have landed a beam that would have taken them out, but we're able to still get to another foul play before they get to a charge move. The Galarian Slowbro can come in, and we still outpace them to their next charge move, Sludge Bomb. And this is going to be super effective foul play damage. It does not take them out, but the residual Psycho Cuts almost do get them down to 1 HP, but we still have our regular Kanto Slowbro in the back for a quick water gun to show which bro is the best. Getting into this next match here, we have Victini on another Malamar, shiny Malamar, beautiful lead. And the way that I like to play this matchup out is I like to try to force them to throw first because I don't want to debuff my defense with V-Create, and we can survive a foul play. There are a lot of situations where I did not shield my Victini. As great as it is, it can really put in a lot of work even without shielding. We unfortunately played this situation into CMP. I did not manage my energy well here. We let this next foul play come through. Also, you could get away. A lot of Malamars don't like the shield. You could actually throw an overheat at them. I also make a very odd play here because I want to go for an insane farm down. The Psycho Cuts are like triple resisted. I'm hoping to build up a boatload of energy in this matchup and get them to the point of potentially Psycho Cutting down, but then I get worried. I'm like, I don't want to end up having to use a shield, but because I guess they had so much energy, they decided to shield, so I will match their shield, and I think at this point this allows me to Psycho Cut them all the way down, so they decide to swap out, and they come in with Victini, and Victini is not a great answer for Malamar when it starts to load up. I felt like there was something else I wanted to say in the beginning of this matchup, but I completely forgot, so I apologize if I started a point and did not finish it. I'm not going to remember what that point was and get to it now. Anyhow, we swap into our Slowbro because our switch timer is up. They can throw all the fire damage that they want. It tickles Slowbro. Oh, that's what I was talking about. You could throw the overheat at the Malamar because it'll practically one-shot. Opponent, top left's there. But be careful. Oh, and sometimes you'll want to throw the overheat because it only debuffs your attack instead of debuffing your defense. There will be occasional situations. For the most part, you just want to spam V-Create with your Victini, but there will be certain situations where you don't want to debuff yourself and potentially get farmed down and maybe get to another move, so you'll want to throw the overheat and debuff your attack instead. It'll occasionally happen. Hopefully one of those situations will occur in this match. We get beamed by the opponent's V-Create here, and let's jump back into this match here. We're still in the even shielding scenario, and then I overfarm because I don't remember if I had a little visual lag or what threw me off, but they got to the Hyper Beam in the next foul play so fast. I was not expecting it when I was doing these matches. Again, this is my first 5 set of battles, and then the next first 5 battles of my first set of battles. And then the next 5 battles after are 5 battles from when I was a little bit more seasoned and comfortable with the team and knew the proper plays and learned the matchups and learned the moves, because this cup is crazy. A lot of mons that you're not used to PvPing with, and then a lot of mons that don't run the move sets that you would typically see if you were trying to run them for spice. So a lot of things threw me off and caught me off guard. But here, I decided to overheat because I know I win this matchup no matter what. And again, overheat being neutral. And then we come in with the Slowbro to try and water gun down. And they come with the Shadow Gardevoir to match. What I meant by win the matchup is I knew I had Slowbro in the back to handle the Claydol. I know Victini doesn't beat Claydol. I'm having a hard time explaining myself right now. I'm trying to get too in depth, and the matches are going by so fast. I'm trying to commentate, give explanation, and the matches are going at 1.75 speed. Maybe for a more intricate video like this in the future where I really know the ins and the outs, I learned a team that you can have legit success with, I will probably slow it down for future reference. But anyhow, I want to get this video out to you guys ASAP because this team really popped off for me, and I want you guys to have access to it too. Who knows, maybe it'll shape the meta. We'd love to see it. Anyhow, we played out the 0 shield. I think because I threw a V-Create or I threw a move, I got their shields, and I already ate a foul play, and I didn't want to, because I debuffed, I didn't want to get Psycho Cut all the way down. This is, I think, hopefully the final match where I stop making weird plays, but this team is so good and Slowbro so good, I'm typically able to outplay my mistakes. They then come in with the Gardevoir, and unfortunately I'm not able to outplay my mistakes here because Victini has no health, and my last mon is Malamar, who is going to take super effective damage from the charms. So 1 top left, 1 bad match, probably bad timing considering everything I already explained, but let's get back into the next one. Of course, no team is perfect. Gotta show the losses. Gotta show you guys how legit the battles are. Getting to the next match, we have Victini up against another Malamar lead. We did not get them to throw, and I did not want to farm too much more energy, so we end up throwing the V-Create early. They're going to get to a foul play here. We're going to shield, and then I'm going to go for another V-Create, and I get it in because I threw it better timing, because you should technically outpace. It's 5 then 4 to get the 2 V-Creates, whereas Malamar is 5 Psycho Cuts for each foul play. So now, because they decide the shield and I decide the shield, knowing that I outpace, I decide to play out the 2 shield with them. They know this also, so they make a really good play and catch. But again, we have the ultimate Victini answer. The best part about this is the Victini literally can only do minimal damage to our Slowbro, and we're going to be able to water gun down. They focus blasted, which was crazy in itself. And then I make a mistake and didn't throw my charge move. Okay, maybe the mistakes don't stop. But again, to show you how good this team is, this time, when I make a mistake, I'm going to play myself out of it. We end up CMPing, I think, that looked like, on the V-Create there. That's going to take the Malamar's remaining health out. They come in with a Metagross and Victini putting in the work, getting the top left, because obviously it was going to obliterate. Plus, we had a Malamar on the back, which would have lined up very well against that Metagross. Getting into this next match here, we have Victini on another Victini lead. The way I like to do this was to try to play it up until they throw, but I lose patience very quickly sometimes. Sometimes I still throw first, even though I know it's a mistake. They throw super early. Me over farming a bunch, expecting them to swap out and wanting to match their swap. Ends up farming a bunch because of it, and they still haven't swapped out. We CMP tie on the next one. I will use my first shield because I already got one of their shields, and I'm aiming to get their last shield here. So we'll see what they decide to do. They let it go through. That takes out their Victini's remaining health, and they come in with the Claydol. Now, another reason why Slowbro's so amazing in this meta is not only does it hard counter Victini, but it hard counters the more popular Victini answer. And Slowbro beats Claydol. Obviously, water being super effective against ground, ice being super effective against ground. Our opponent comes in with Gardevoir trying to charm us down, bars, and because of all the fast move damage, we're able to come with Malamar, throw the foul play, and take it out. They're trying to mud slap us all the way down, and we get to another foul play. Does this do the remaining health? I know it gets pretty damn close. It does not, but we CMP'd. Plus, we have a shield, so we're sitting pretty, regardless of them getting to the move or committing to a mud slap down. We then water gun them all the way and win that match. So yes, that's another reason, another main point of why Slowbro is probably my favorite Mon in this meta. It beats the top Mon and Victini very well, and it beats the other popular option that people use to essentially cover their Victini or use as their Victini answer. So getting to this next match, we have the Victini mirror again. Here I'm playing it properly and patiently, waiting for them to throw first. They throw. At this point, I do expect a swap, so I go for another quick attack. I have to put up a shield now. Now I know my V-Create will take them out, so I'm still expecting a swap. They still have not swapped, and we're going to throw this V-Create. This will either get their shield or take out their Victini and win us the lead. They decide to shield, keep their Victini alive. They come in with a Alolan Raichu, and the back line kind of struggles a bit against Alolan Raichu, so I had to throw a V-Create before I dipped to get their final shield. They then throw a Wild Charge, which does way more damage than I expected it to, and we let another Volt Switch come through so that we can throw this foul play, and in case the Victini comes in and tries to farm us down, because we wouldn't be able to get to another move, we want them to get less farm. So their Victini comes in, takes us out, and then we come back in with our one shielded Slowbro. They can throw any move they want here. We are not going to shield it. It'd be really funny if this was like a time I made a mistake and decided to shield. We commit to a water gun, farm down, but they swap out. They come with Shadow Gardevoir. I thought I learned my lesson earlier. I forget when in stream I learned my lesson, but Water Pulse is not the play, and I made this match way closer. Oh, this was the match after I learned my lesson, because Water Pulse literally did less damage than what Ice Beam would have done, and if I would have thrown Ice Beam, it would not have been that tight into the wire, and I would have won that match a lot more comfortably. Thankfully, was still able to pull it out with some fast moves, shenanigans, and a little bit of swapping there. Getting into the next matchup, we have our Victini on another Malamar lead. They want to throw the move right away, be my guest. We survive it. We're building up to the overheat here because, again, there are certain suggestions where they don't shield it, and it one-shot, well, it didn't one-shot technically survive with 1 HP, but the following quick attack took it out. So sometimes you can also play that lead matchup by going overheat. It also saved us some health, which really doesn't benefit us too much there. It did let us get to a V-Create, but our attack is so debuffed that it really didn't do much damage to the Victini. But of course, we have the hardest answer in the game to the Victini with Slowbro. So they swap out into a Bronzong, and we're sitting in a great matchup because we have our Malamar here. We actually let a charge move come through because we're a Dark Psychic type, knowing we take neutral from the payback that came through, and also because we know since we already did a good chunk of the Bronzong's health with a foul play, we can fast move farm down with the Slowbro if need be. They decided not to commit their shields to the Bronzong, and that ends up being a mistake, but regardless, we were winning that match because Slowbro was by the sweep, especially with the 2 shields that it had. So that is the final match of the collection of battles. There was 10 battles there for you, all the highlights of all the big matches and dubs I was able to pull out with this Psychic Cup team of Victini, Malamar, and Slowbro. Please let me know your thoughts on the team in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see more of the battles without commentating, highly recommend you check out my Twitch channel. The VOD's up there and you can see all 25 battles. See some of my mistakes as I work through the kinks of getting used to the meta, but really where this team shines and how it pops off. I have every intention of running the heck out of this team until the meta adjusts and somebody's able to counter it better than what I ran into today, because I had a bunch of success. On that note, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.